Hello viewers, here is another interesting and simple question. How much magnesium is required to react with 250 cm cube of 0.5 molar HCl? The atomic mass of magnesium is given to be 24 and the options too are given. Alright, to solve this problem, to solve this question, very simple. The first thing we have to do is to write out an equation for the question. Okay, so to do this is very simple. What was mentioned in the question here was magnesium and HCl. So that this one element and the compound here will form our reactant. So magnesium and HCl will form our reactants. Okay, magnesium reacting with HCl. Okay, this forms our reactant. Okay, so when we balance this very well, we'll have magnesium chloride and we'll have hydrogen gas. Good. All right, now after writing out an equation, it's normal to balance it. Yes, hydrogen here is 2 but hydrogen here is 1. Magnesium was 1, magnesium is 1, magnesium is balanced. Hydrogen is 2, hydrogen is 2, chlorine 2, chlorine 2. So we say the equation is balanced. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now, let us spell out the parameters that is given to us in the equation so that we know the formula we are going to use. The first parameter that is given to us here is volume because of the unit that is attached. So volume is given to be 250 cm cube. The next thing that is given to us here is concentration. Concentration here is given to us to be 0.5 molar. Good. Now, from this parameter that is given to us, there is a formula that relates volume and concentration together, and that formula is number of mole. Okay, so number of mole equals concentration times volume all over 1000. Okay, so concentration times volume all over 1000. I like dividing it by 1000 whenever the volume is given to us in cm cube. However, another person may want to convert the volume to dm cube only before multiplying. Okay, to do that is very simple. Just divide 250 by 1000 and you have your answer. Then when you bring the answer in dm cube, you now multiply concentration times that value in dm cube. But I don't want to go through that process. I just substituted into this formula by dividing by 1000 at once. Okay, so let us make use of this formula by substituting. Concentration is given to be 0.5 times 250 divided by 1000. Present your calculator, you have 0.125 mole. Okay, but this is not what we asked, okay? Because our answer in mole, the options would have been in mole. Okay, so for us to have the answer correctly, we have to visit the question again. All right, the question was between magnesium hydrochloric acid to give us magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. Now from the equation here, we notice that magnesium was mentioned. Write out the magnesium. That was the first element that was mentioned. The next thing that was mentioned in the equation was HCl. Okay, just do it like this. It's very simple. What was mentioned only. You notice that we're not touching magnesium chloride, we're not touching hydrogen gas because it wasn't mentioned in the equation. Okay, so now from this reactant and product we have stated out, we notice that 2 mole here from the equation. I'm just taking it the way it was from the original equation. Notice that 1 mole of magnesium, nothing is here, so this is 1 mole, produces 2 mole of HCl. Remember that this is another mole that we have calculated, but this mole is for HCl, okay? Because the volume and the concentration of HCl was given, and so we have calculated to get the number of mole of HCl. Okay, so now 0.125 mole of HCl will give us X mole We don't know. They didn't give us any parameter for magnesium for us to have calculated the mole. That is why we are going to look for magnesium, the mole of magnesium. Okay, so to do this, to look for the mole of magnesium so that we'll be able to find the mass of magnesium is simple, very, very simple. So you just do a simple cross multiplication. Okay, it's very simple. So it's going to be 0.125 mole of HCl times 1 mole of magnesium divided by 2 mole of hydrochloric acid. When you press your calculator, you have 0.625. Okay, 0.625. Okay, so when you divide, you press your calculator well. When you press your calculator well, you have 0.0625. Okay, this is mole of magnesium. Mole of magnesium. Okay, but we are not looking for the mole of magnesium, but we are looking for the mass of magnesium, because the options here given are in mass. Okay, so to have the mass, we are going to use the formula number of mole. We're going to use the formula number of mole equal to mass all over molar mass. Molar mass. Okay, so the mass here is what we are looking for. So we'll make the mass the subject. Mass now will be equal to number of mole. I'm going to write it in form mole times molar mass. Molar mass. Okay, mole here is given to us to be 0.0625 multiplied by the molar mass was given to us. Molar mass of magnesium was given to us to be 24. When you press your calculator very well, you will have 1.5 gram. It's very simple. Follow the process just the way I have written it. You see that you can solve any problem like this without stress. Thank you.